Namaste. It was black because I had the camera facing the wrong direction. Hi, I'm Dawn. As it says in the caption, I'm a heart-centered chair yoga teacher for caregivers who want it all. And I had another pre-recorded video, as I mentioned in my header, in my caption for this live. Yet I felt called to go a step further. I felt called to talk a little bit more about why I teach yoga, and particularly also why I chose caregivers, and also eventually I will build in a program for cancer patients. So, first of all, yoga changed my life. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard me talk perhaps about my journey to yoga, where I found my first classes. Actually, the very first yoga class I took was actually watching a prenatal VHS. I had sciatica, some back problems, and my massage therapist lent me her video. That's where I started. Yet I really didn't get serious about yoga until I needed a break from the rat race. And I really felt I needed something more than just the physical activities. I was working out. I walked all the time. I even trained for a 5K during my lunch breaks. Not right after I went back to work, after my second child was born, but not long thereafter, maybe that following summer. I think I found yoga first. It doesn't matter. Timing doesn't matter. I do want to welcome those of you who are here live. I see Bonnie's here with me, so welcome. If you are here, #live. I will come back and comment on your comments after the live. I unfortunately can't see them when I am live on my phone. I'm watching the time because I have another live meditation that I'm doing in about 15 minutes in another group. I did want to just share a little bit more. So I found yoga for me, and it's been a long process. I've been practicing for about 19 years. I didn't really get serious about teaching yoga until about 6 years ago. Fall of 2018, I went to formal yoga teacher training and just dipped my toe in these waters of yoga, and really made the transition to the more spiritual side of the practice during COVID. And I'd always wanted to teach online, and I felt very passionate about that. I still feel very passionate about breaking down the barriers that colonialism and white supremacy and other ways of co-opting or culturally appropriating yoga has taken over in the Western world, in the Western yoga philosophy. I feel very strongly that yoga is accessible to everyone, that if you have a body and you are breathing, you can do yoga. And then you can do yoga in 60 seconds, one breath at a time. And that's one thing I feel very strongly about, is changing lives one breath and 60 seconds at a time. It doesn't have to be hours in the studio. And I felt called to serve caregivers because I've, throughout my whole life, have witnessed the impact of caregiving on a human individual. For those of you who may not have known me for a long time, my mother was in the caregiving world for a long time, a hospice nurse, hospice supervisor. Again, welcome if you're tuning in live, #live. If you're on the replay, #replay. I'd love to hear your thoughts and feedbacks and questions, and I'll come back and answer them. And I always got the message, consciously or unconscious. This is the way I interpret it. Again, remember, I'm not placing blame on anybody or anything in terms of the way I grew up. This is my interpretation of the messages I received. And the messages I received were, you always had to give. It was selfish to want attention, to want to celebrate your accomplishments. And there's a lot of reasons for that. This video is not for that. Not right now. And over time and through life experience, I began to put up a wall around my heart. It was never good enough. I never felt good enough. I felt I was working hard, never got the recognition. And I know why. And again, I always felt that I myself was never good enough. And if I didn't get recognition from the right people or the right organization or whatever it was, that whatever I did wasn't worth it. And I had some pretty bad blowouts, especially in college. Bad temper too. Also was not kind to people in my younger years, and even up until very recently. Yet the journey of yoga has helped me recognize those imperfections, and more importantly, to be compassionate with myself, to learn to accept those less than perfect parts of me, acknowledging that they are what makes me up me up today. Oh gosh, bad English. I'm not going to correct it. Sorry, English majors. And really to understand that this journey called life, this journey as a human, is never going to be perfect. And that's been not such an easy pill to swallow. Yet studying yoga, practicing, and more importantly, being able to give this information, this practice to all of you is what sustains me. It's what keeps me going. It keeps me from going utterly insane. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, you know that in 2022, my full-time job, I forget what it's called. I have a fun term for it. I'll remember it eventually. Went crazy. And as a result, my yoga business tanked. Still hasn't quite recovered. That's okay. Part of why I shifted focus. I'm actually returning to center. I always created this business to serve caregivers because I really feel strongly that there isn't enough acceptance of the need for caregivers to give themselves permission to stop. The understanding that taking time to rest your brain, your mind, your body actually helps you be a better caregiver. It helps you think more clearly. It helps you look at a situation more logically in a much calmer mind, which ultimately helps the person you're caring for, whether it be a family member or part of your profession. I want to normalize rest. I don't want to say self-care because, again, it's co-opted. Self-care is not bubble baths. It can be as simple as paying attention to a daily task. It could be as simple as paying attention to brushing your teeth, feeling the brush against your teeth, your tongue, the taste of your toothpaste, the water running through your mouth as you rinse. As simple as thinking about the people who allowed that water to get to you, who built the pipes, who put in the infrastructure, who are running the computers that are allowing that water to move. People who had foresight to build the reservoirs. Mother Earth. It's as simple as that. That's all yoga. And if anybody tells you otherwise, means that perhaps they have a different understanding of what yoga is. Yoga is not just a workout. It's not just movement. It's really about creating a deeper connection to yourself and everything around you. It's a practice where you come into my space. It's a safe space, and you can just leave everything behind. All you have to do is listen to my voice. I'll walk you through the whole process, whether it be, and you know what, honestly, you can choose whether to do it or not. If you're just in this space breathing, resting, lying down, listening to me, that's yoga too. There's no expectation. There's no perfect pose. It's simply an opportunity to come together, to rest, to not worry about your to-do list, and to feel safe and comfortable in knowing that it's okay to not be doing the day-to-day activities. And I know I've gone into many different topics and have not circled back for all of them, and that's okay. We've got plenty of time. Granted, powers of the universe and the God of your own understanding may have a different plan for you, me, and otherwise. Yet right now, the most important thing is this moment. The moment that we are here together. I'm sharing my passion for this. And by extension, my second passion is to bring to light to those that are underserved, underrepresented, unfairly marginalized. So if you know me, you know that I'm rooting for the underdog. And if you've been following my stories on Facebook and Instagram, you'll see that. I am open to learning about all sides of an issue. I will not pretend that I understand every nuance of every issue I post on. I do try to be mindful and respectful. I don't want to harm. Ahisma, that's part of ahisma, one of the yoga principles. I also believe in self-study. I'm not going to try to pronounce the Sanskrit word right now, but it's also an element of yoga and one I feel very strongly about. And I'm constantly reading. I have a to-read list that is probably about 70 miles long, at least 300 books. I'm slowly working through them, in between everything else, of course. The real takeaway here is I'm here to serve you, and I really want to share. And I'd love for all of you to have the opportunity to experience more than what you see here on social media. I'd love to see you practice with me, with the community. The beautiful thing is you can practice in the comfort of your own home. And I understand the time difference can be a little challenging. And let me know if you see my schedule. In fact, I'm going to post this right now. I have a online virtual yoga studio. Oops, it didn't do it. Okay. So we didn't get the text I wanted. So I will post it after, later on, after this video, is done. I will post a link to a love offering, my PayPal and my Venmo. I will also post the link to register for my group classes. I have 2 live classes per week. If the times don't work for you, please let me know. And I am considering adding additional classes starting later this year, March-ish. Depends on the day. So I am looking at additional days and times. Yes, Lauren, thank you for the reminder. I am going to be going in live in Lauren Gale's beautiful community, Cozy Couch community. So she was just pinging me to remind me. And oh yeah, I will wrap it up. So in all seriousness, I would love to see you in class. If you, again, if you can't make those classes, let me know. I will drop the link directly to the online studio in the comments. If you need to know now, the link to my link tree is at the top of these comments, at the top of this live, so you can scroll back up and click to the yoga studio that way. Yes, I hope the time zone is correct too, but I'm going to pop off now. Thank you all for all of you who were listening in. I'm really looking forward to sharing more about my passion for yoga, social justice, and how it all interrelates and can be easily incorporated into your daily routine in the coming days and weeks. Be well. I'll see you all soon.